More than 15,000 American children are diagnosed with cancer every year, and sadly, 38 children die every week. Michaela Zerwas was only 3 years old when she was diagnosed.
From that day that Michaela was diagnosed of cancer in June 30th of 2000, it was, it just rips your heart out. It was a horrible experience, terrible, and, I'll never forget that day.
Andy and his wife worked long hours as police officers at the time, so Michaela spent a lot of time with her grandparents. And it was at the urging of her grandpa that her parents first took young Michaela to the doctor.
I noticed, especially when we lay her down to sleep, she was like 3 years old at the time. Why, I could tell she was gasping for air. And
she sucked her thumb, and she had to take her thumb out of her
right.
mouth to breathe.
And then she'd throw her head back, you could see she was fighting, trying to get air. So I told my daughter, you better take her into a doctor and find out what's going on, which she did, local doctors. And of course they thought at the time it was our adenoids. But then when she came back and said adenoids, I said, that's not adenoids. You better take her to the University of Minnesota. This could be serious. And of course I had no idea at the time that I was talking cancer.
Michaela went through 11 months of chemo and radiation. Follow-up scans continued for years.
Just going to the hospital a lot, getting a lot of scans. It felt like every week. It was a lot.
After 5 years of clean scans, Michaela was declared cancer-free. But her family was changed forever by the experience. Now, 16 years after Michaela's diagnosis, Andy is still looking for ways to help those who are in the midst of their own journey with cancer. Recently, a friend told Andy about the Great Cycle Challenge. It is a month-long cycling fundraiser benefiting the Children's Cancer Research Fund.
When I found out about it, I was very excited, so I decided to sign up and pledge myself for 150 miles.
More than 25,000 people are hitting roadways and bike paths this month with the goal of raising $2.2 million. Andy described himself as a casual biker in the past, but now that he is riding for something that he has great passion for, he is ready to take on the Great Cycle Challenge year after year.
God willing, I'd love to do it again. I wasn't sure how much to pledge for the first year. The minimum was 100. And so with, work and schedules and all the other stuff, I do softball for the vet center and stuff. I wasn't sure how many, so I started off with 150. So I'm just very grateful every day that Michaela is healthy, and that, that we all pulled together, and that she's doing great now.
And his family beams when they talk about what Andy is doing.
I'm so proud of Andy to go out and get into this situation where he's going to do the bike-a-thon, or any of these organizations that decide they want to do whatever they can do to help for cancer research. I'm 100% behind it. I'm a chairman. I'm a chairman fully.
Yep.
I love him to death for what he's doing.
Michaela, too, is searching for a way to give back and help kids who are going through what she went through.
I'm going to study to be a nurse and hopefully work with children that are going through oncology. And I've always wanted to help people, so I thought, why not help people that are going through cancer, and especially children.
This family came through some of the darkest days you can imagine. Now they are on the other side of that darkness and are finding ways to be a shining light to others in need. For North Metro TV News, Ben Hayle reporting.